Greetings, fellow humans. Welcome to Sam and Max Hit the Books. I'm Max.
I'm Sam.
And we are going to do a lightning round of comic reviews for you this week because so much came out this week. We did get Detective Comics. We reviewed that in a separate episode. So check that out on our channel if you missed it.
It's a behemoth.
It is huge, 96 pages. But for the other comics this week, we're going to start with the fifth and final issue of Tom Scioli's GoBots, where it turns out that GoBots is a prequel to the Transformers.
Yeah. Man, what a reveal.
It's all falling action, end action, because Psykill gets killed, and Leader One's already dead, and the GoBot regime is overthrown by the good GoBots.
Yeah, they climb back up to Gobotron, and they meet the good GoBots, and one of them is clearly Optimus Prime. He turns into a truck, and he says, "Roll out!"
When he says GoBots transform and roll out, and turns into that exactly Optimus thing. And I love that he gave this GoBot a lightsaber, which normally isn't a big Optimus Prime thing, but in Tom Scioli's Transformers vs. G.I. Joe, Optimus' main weapon was a pink lightsaber.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, and then we've got clearly Hot Rod and Bumblebee precursors showing up.
Yeah.
Awesome. They combine Leader One and Psykill into one red and white and blue jet.
Clearly Starscream.
And they talk about how they are splitting Gobotron off into various other planets that will also be something Trons.
Yeah. And then the scientists who were left behind, they get to re-educate all the native humans.
Right, and in a last panel that is identical to the final page of Frank Miller's Dark Knight Returns, with Batman underground going to train the mutant gang in being crime fighters. So, yeah, this comic, while it may have gotten a little wild and crazy,
no doubt,
had a wonderful, wonderful ending.
Yes, it did. And
the idea that you can now read this as essentially a prequel to Tom Scioli's Transformers vs. G.I. Joe really boosts it, in my estimation, as well. I gotta give this an 8.
Yeah, I give it an 8 as well. Thought it was great, and a great ending to a crazy and wacky story.
Yeah, and I'm glad that it wasn't any longer than this. This was exactly the right amount of time to tell this story. 5 issues, 1 trade paperback.
All right. Well, I mean, it changed so much from issue to issue that, really, it's nice to have it. So much happen in such a condensed package.
It really is a wide range from A to Z. And I do want to one thing in the issue I loved was when our main hero, GoBot, half transformed when he was sliding in so he could keep rolling on his wheels, but also firing double guns.
Oh, yeah.
Good action.
Next up, we're talking about issue 14 of Terrifics, Joe Bennett and Lemire.
Jeff Lemire. Yeah.
Jeff Lemire. And this is the expanded Terrifics taking down the Dreadfuls, and they really do take down the Dreadfuls. I mean, they have enough people that most of them can be 2-on-1 with the Dreadfuls, which is lucky, but Phantom Girl goes 1-on-1 against Phantom Boy and takes him out with some dark matter energy. Offspring and Plastic Man, they keep stopping that vampire Plastic Man. I forget his name, but he's always trying to bite him, but they just keep stopping him. Put a thing over his face, put your hands over his face, and make it into a muzzle. Fun stuff. Tesla Strong.
Yeah,
Tesla Strong fighting with alongside Metamorpho and Element Dog to take out the Metal Morpho. No problems there. I mean, 3-on-1, no problems there. And Mr. and Mrs. Terrific, of course, taking out Dr. Dread with their brains.
I really liked how effective Metamorpho ended up being, because that dude is strong and powerful.
Well, I mean, Metamorpho, he can turn himself into so many things.
And when Mr. Terrific easily disarms Java, it's great.
All right, he just hits the weak point, and all of Java's armor falls off. It's embarrassing for him.
This is the last issue of the Lemire run. He's been writing it since issue 1. We're getting a new writer taking over, so this can very much be seen as the end of this entire arc arc, setting up the team with their new team. And I gotta say, like, I was predicting that Offspring was hopefully gonna be sticking with the team. I was not expecting Tesla Strong to also be sticking with the team.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is Tesla Strong sticking with the team? I don't see her picture here.
Is that not
Mrs. Terrific.
Oh, Mrs. Terrific. That's what I meant.
Mrs. Terrific sticking with the team.
Yeah.
Tesla Strong, I think, probably left to be with her family.
Yeah, she bounced her own universe.
But hopefully that's not the last we see of the Strong family because, yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, I guess we'll see how much that's a Jeff Lemire thing versus just a thing baked into the DNA of this book.
I hope it's baked into the DNA. And yeah, I like the expanded Terrifics. I think that's great that we've already moved beyond being just a Fantastic Four.
Right, it's a full-on team family book now. Because so much of it is family. Because, yeah, it's like Plastic Man's son joined the team, and Mr. Terrific's wife kinda joined the team, and Element Man's dog kinda joined the team.
His dog.
Yeah, all the of the additions are like a legacy character of the main one that they came with.
Right, and we've been seeing them popping in and out, except for Mrs. Terrific, but we've seen his wife in flashback and whatnot throughout the story, so it's cool that we end it with, like, yeah, they're all here.
They're all here, and they're all ready for adventures. Go Terrifics, go.
Yeah, I give it a 7.
Yeah, I think 7's right. Very good.
Very good.
Enjoy it, but it was a little rote. Like, all was kind of like, yep, this is the win issue.
Right, action.
Speaking of action... Action Comics 1009, the continuation of the Leviathan subplot. So we got lots of Amanda Waller, we got some Jimmy Olsen stuff. Not really many questions answered, other than that Leviathan may not be the Leviathan that we think it is.
Right. Speaking of questions, the question shows up.
That was a great couple of pages, and man, Steve Epting draws the hell out of the question.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, Rorschach is the question, but this is the first time where I really felt like the question was Rorschach.
But the main cool thing that happened in this issue, to me anyway, was the revelation of a strange kryptonite device that apparently has been used before, but this is our first time as comic readers hearing about it.
Yeah.
Where Chaz and Andy Donen, which is a previous identity... or pair of identities held by Clark and Lois, this kryptonite device turns Superman into a curly-haired British man named Chaz, agent of Spiral.
Yeah, I wonder what else it does. Is that all it does is it changes the way he looks and talks?
Good question.
Is it even changing the way he talks, or is he just doing that because that's his character?
Right, because Superman can definitely affect a perfect accent.
Right.
100%.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be able to? I mean, with those ears?
That was the first time in any... of these many issues of Bendis Superman, I don't know how many total we're on now, it's got to be like 20 or 30, that I straight up was like, delightful. This is delightful. Like, it's so Silver Age to have a kryptonite device that can change Superman's appearance so that he can do some sort of undercover work of some kind, and I thought that was by itself kind of worth an extra point in my estimation.
That's fair. I like the idea of it. I like the idea of Superman going undercover for some stuff. I
want to get a couple flashback pages of previous things that Superman did as an agent of Spiral.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So I give this one a 6, slightly above average.
Oh, okay. I only give it a 5 because I feel like most of it was just a lot of Jimmy and Amanda Waller stuff while they were talking.
I don't love Bendis' Jimmy. I'm a little sick of him.
Yeah, I can agree with that. So, issue 8 of the new Fantastic Four, Dan Slott and Cooter. And, so Doom has the 4. He's got them in one of his special death traps while he siphons Galactus' power.
I love the Reed Richards death trap.
Oh, man. He has Richards stretched to his maximum in below sub-zero temperatures, colder than outer space, so that if he moves, he could shatter. Oh, man. And he's got Ben Grimm chained up so that if he tries to summon extra strength to break himself free, it will increase the power being fed to the other chambers and kill his friends. So he can't do crap.
I love it when Doom says, like, Ben Grimm, I've locked you with these 100% unbreakable chains, but I know you'd find a way.
Right, exactly. It's just like he is now factoring in Ben Grimm's heart.
Right. Yeah, which, of course, Doom would. He's smart.
He is smart. But yeah, Doom sends out a message to the world and the universe in general. He's like, I got Galactus, I'm siphoning his power, we're going to use it to take Latveria into a new space age.
Take the world
top of the world.
Yeah, he isn't saying, I'm going to take Latveria to space, and now we're going to rule the world. He's saying, now Latveria is taking the world to space.
Right, leading the world.
Yeah.
Ooh, how diabolical. And, the kids, they're still at home and...
Yeah, I was thinking that this was building to Franklin and Valeria are going to go save the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, me too, exactly. It seems like it's setting it up that way because we get them right in the middle. But then Reed, of course, points out that Doom made a mistake.
Doom showed him the math in order to, appease his mind a little bit. He's like, look, Richards, I'll let you check the math before I kill you so you can see my plan will work. And Reed is, while they're on the telecast.
Of course I'll show you. Of course I'll let you know all of it. Of course I'll enlighten you, small-brained Reed.
And then Reed waits until they're being broadcast to the world to call Doom on his faulty math.
Yep. And then Sue makes Doom's armor invisible, and that's where we end it. I mean,
Doom's mad.
He takes off Doom's armor. You see his ugly, scarred body. He's not gonna be. He's gonna be real pissed.
Ooh, yeah, Doom. He's not happy about that.
Yeah, I thought this was a real good issue. I give it a 7.
I'm going to go one higher than you on this. I thought this was an 8. I liked every part of this issue. I think all of the members of the family are written good. The writing a good Doom plan can be easy, but he really did cover the angles of where Doom's one weakness, of course, throughout time has always been his overconfidence.
Yeah, his ego.
And this 100% is playing to the strengths of all these characters. I just think that Slott is, he's doing real good work here.
Yeah, I agree. He's doing real good work. It's a good issue. It's fun to read. And who doesn't enjoy a good Doom death trap?
I love a good Doom death trap. Alright, moving on. We're just going to real quick hit X-Force number 5, which revealed the origin of young Cable, essentially. Not up to the point where he kills old Cable. No, but just like why he would want to kill old Cable. It sets up the stakes and shows how all the various time travel crap that the main X-Men books have been getting up to for the last 5 years have been just destroying the time stream.
Yeah, that's a nice concept.
And we get a pretty cool page of the time device being inserted into Cable's techno-organic arm. I really appreciated that coolness. We get to meet a bunch of characters that the book really tries to make us feel for, all of Cable's buddies.
Right.
And I honestly couldn't even keep their names straight. I kept trying to double check. Like, wait, okay, who's this? Who's Tetherblood? Okay, who's this guy?
Right. Well, they're just they're a resistance cell.
And then we also sort of see the origin of the Strife and his team that showed up, which is they're from the same alternate reality that this young Cable is from, and they happen to have a device powered by 3 weird MODOK-looking guys that allowed them to escape the temporal devastation affecting that reality in the future.
Yeah.
But they want to preserve that reality. They aren't going to allow themselves to be wiped out. So.
Oh man, those flesh calculators.
So it's the Cronin. The Cronin.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed this the most so far of all the X-Force issues.
Me too.
Because I finally felt like I understood everything that was going on.
Yeah. It was well paced as well.
It was well paced. The art is good. This is a different artist than the previous issues, and I got to be honest,
I like this better.
I like this a little bit better than I like the other guy, who was a looser style.
Right. It's a little more difficult with the other guy's style to see what's going on.
Exactly. So I think this is also a 6.
I'd actually give that one a 7. I thought it was a fun read.
Yeah, and it's definitely keeping me on board X-Force for now.
Right. All right, so issue 2 of Transformers.
Yeah, the bold new era.
New era by Brian Rickley and art by Angel Hernandez and Katchet Whitman. And so this was a lot more of this is life on Cybertron. There's not many new Cybertronians being built and energized, and life is kind of stagnant, but there's not really much crime or death except Brainstorm has been killed,
Right.
So what's going on?
I think it's interesting that in this reality they've set it so that Prowl isn't the chief head of Cybertronian security, which he always is in every single continuity. In this one,
yeah.
even though it seems like he's in charge when they show up to investigate, it's Chromia who's in charge of Cybertronian security.
Right, they mentioned that.
And Prowl's just the asshole detective who's kind of a dick, but he's the best.
Yeah.
I don't hate that change, I guess.
Well, we'll see where it's going.
I was really disappointed by how much build-up they had to revealing the wings on the moon. That's the Energon Harvester. And I felt like the splash page didn't really deliver a super impressive, amazing sight that they were building up.
Yeah, I was hoping for more of a flower.
Right, butterfly wings, a solar sail,
Yeah, instead we just get some towers pointing downwards.
And I think it's happening on both sides, but the decision to show it at this weird angle...
Right, it makes it look it doesn't make it look like they're folding back like it does in the smaller picture before that.
Yeah, I don't understand how this flap is turning into this.
Same, but the way they describe it is much nicer than the way they show it,
right.
As being the most incredible thing they ever saw as Bumblebee and Rubble stand on the roof of this factory or shop and just take it all in.
Right.
It's a nice moment. But I agree that it doesn't look as nice as they describe it.
These artists, I should say, they're very exact, detailed, straight lines, visual diagrams, everything's there, but there's nothing superlative about it. Everything just looks exactly as it should look.
Yeah. But still you get a nice Star Trek-y feel, which I appreciate, of course.
It's good sci-fi,
Yeah. Other than that, we just get a little bit of Megatron's rally and him pointing out the stagnation of Cybertron and the way that the Autobots have control over everything, and the others feel a little marginalized. But then there's an assassination attempt, and he is pissed, and that's where we end it. The assassin gets away.
This issue felt very slight to me. I almost felt like this all should have happened in issue 1.
Right. I mean, so far it feels pretty low stakes. Not much is going on.
They're spending so much time just casually explaining Cybertronian philosophy and life to Rubble. And it's very much okay, new readers, here's everything for you. You don't know anything about Transformers, and we're telling you.
Right. But at the same time, planting seeds of what is gonna be happening, but in such a small way that you're not able to grasp what they're trying to do with it yet.
And bold move to not really have Optimus show up except for a brief communication conversation.
You mean Orion?
Oh, right, Orion. Orion Pax. Yeah.
Yeah, I still thought it was alright, but I can only give it a 5.
Yeah, it's exactly average.
Right, down the middle. It feels like it's not really trying to get more than a center road feel.
Yes.
So that's what it gets.
Center of the road. Okay, cruising right along to issue 2 of Michelle Fife's G.I. Joe Sierra Muerte.
Yeah, I blasted through this. Didn't take in too much of it.
I like the Destro and Baroness action.
Yeah, the Destro was probably the best stuff that was going on in this. I wasn't really sure what the Joes were up to.
Not sure what the Joes were up to. Cobra Commander is sick and sort of coming unhinged.
Yeah, what's up with him?
And I guess they're going to try to put his body in Storm Shadow, but Dr. Mindbender seems to have some sort of alternate plan that's definitely not involves putting Cobra Commander's mind into Storm Shadow.
Yeah, it seems like Destro wants to usurp Cobra Commander's position and take his woman.
Right, yeah. Destro and Baroness have been having some kind of relationship, and they're going to take over instead. It's fine. I'll give it a 3.
Yeah. 3 sounds right to me.
Yeah. The art in this issue was a lot less impressive to me than the last issue. There was so much cool action with the other Joes in the first issue that kind of carried me through my problems with the plot.
Yeah.
But this one was so many full three panel pages with very flat coloring.
Right. There's so much empty space.
Yeah. I mean, there's only one more issue of this, so we'll get it.
Oh, interesting.
But
3-issue run.
That's what Michelle likes to do, little 3-issue runs.
All right. Well. So Martian Manhunter, issue 4. That's
Riley Rossmo and Steve Orlando.
Steve Orlando, yes, and Riley Rossmo. And so we get a little bit of Mars, or where the Martians are from. Not really Mars, of course.
Isn't it Mars?
Is it Mars? Is it really that close?
Yeah, but this stuff I think is happening so far in the past.
Well, that's true. I just didn't know the Martians were actually from Mars. I always assumed that they were called Martians by some coincidence because, they're aliens. What do you call aliens? Martians. But they were from some other Mars.
No, unless something has changed with Martian Manhunter's origin for this continuity, he's definitely from the Mars of this solar system.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, well, all right.
Yeah, this is a pretty good issue.
Yeah, I liked it. We get a little bit of Mars where they're talking about this virus that's infecting the minds of the Martians, and I guess it's spread through idea. The idea of it is itself the infection, which is real cool.
Yeah, it's viral. It's a viral meme, essentially.
Yes, exactly.
And so the government doesn't want to acknowledge its presence because they're like, acknowledging its presence will only help it spread, and like normally when that happens in the real world, it's like, oh, that's bullshit. Education is the key to everything. But in this comic, it's 100% like, no, if Martians think about this illness, they get it.
Right, but John Johns wants them to reveal it, but, fight it down with the belief that, that it can be defeated. They want to implant that idea with it in the minds of the Martians, but too bad it doesn't go that way, and the leaders having none of that.
Yeah, very cool angle for telepathic creatures.
Agreed.
Yeah.
And we get a little bit of John Johns on doing some investigative work, reading the mind of an alien iguana.
I don't think it's an alien iguana, is it?
It's just a regular iguana?
Isn't that just an iguana? Yeah.
Doesn't he say, this is how it sees its world?
Yeah, but that's just because that's the perception that the iguana itself has with its iguana brain.
Seeing Earth?
Right.
Oh, okay. Well, it even makes this splash page even cooler.
Like, I love him in his world. It's like, he thinks he's people.
Right, he's bipedal, and then there's giants on the horizon.
Yeah, that's the girl.
Giant lady. Oh, right, the girl who Johns is looking for.
Yeah, that's the iguana's world. That was his master.
Yeah, the
looks like
street lights are barky like trees and many branched.
Yeah,
and it's a cool way that this iguana sees the world. And you got Johns literally running through the memories of the girl from the iguana's point of view, and you get him walking along the pages with one going in front of one frame after the other. Real nice.
Great stuff art-wise on this.
Yeah, I mean, that's just fun. And we get a little bit of the girl and this red demon thing.
Red Martian.
Red Martian. Of course it's a red Martian. I mean, I don't think they've called it a red Martian.
He's gotta be.
But of course he is.
Yeah, because I don't recall if red Martians have always been a thing. I know the white Martians are traditionally the evil Martians from the Martian Manhunter Mars.
Right, yeah.
Mars!
Well, weren't the white Martians also, heavily discriminated against Martians as well?
I don't remember. I feel like they were the militaristic ones in previous continuities, and the green Martians were, the peaceful ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I've had very little exposure to Martian civilization before reading this run.
Yeah, I think all I'm really basing it on is when the white Martians show up in the first arc of Grant Morrison's JLA. So that even itself could be just, stuff that only ever existed in that one particular Grant Morrison comic.
Yeah, based on what I've read, I've assumed at this point that the white Martians were discriminated against, and but they rose up, and much hell ensued.
Right.
But this was a pretty good issue. I've really been enjoying this run. I've been enjoying Martian Manhunter running around as a cop. I enjoyed his partner doing her thing. And, I like that the Red Martian got inside this dude that Johns went to, and now it's infecting him. So that's quite the cliffhanger.
Yeah. John has the disease now. The thing that he sold out Mars somehow,
to try and save his family.
And even so, only he survived. He's the only one around back on Earth, but now he's got the disease anyway.
Now he's got it. Oh man. I give this an 8. I really liked it.
Yeah, I think 8's right for this. This is one of the more enjoyable books this week. And just the art by itself, just that spread of the iguana's brain by itself was
the first issue of this run, I wasn't sure about the art, but I really like it now. It's really grown on me, and I'm impressed.
Yeah. All right, we are going to close it out with a anthology. We got the 3rd issue of Marvel Comics Presents. The first story in it is the Charles Soule and Paolo Siqueira Wolverine story continuing. And this was a pretty cool issue of that, because this time when the demon came through, as it comes through every 10 years...
The truth.
It came through at the site of an atomic detonation in Nevada.
Yep.
And knowing that Wolverine and the woman were going to be summoned to fight him wherever he appeared. So he's like, I'm going to appear somewhere where it's hell on earth. There's no way they can even survive when they show up. But no, right. Wolverine can.
Yeah, and she can because she thought fast. She got a force field up.
Logan takes it out again when it's looking real cool and irradiated.
Yeah.
It's like that villain from Superman the Animated Series.
It is,
right?
But we also saw just
Beyond.
like this recently in the Immortal Hulk.
Very true. Yeah. Irradiated skeleton man.
Oh yeah.
And then the girl decides to hang out with Logan a little bit after the fight, which they haven't done before.
Yeah.
But it turned out that I guess she just needed to sleep with him for some reason.
Well, I think they just wanted a nice moment so that they won't be dreading their reunion in the future as much.
I don't know. I think based on the Sylvie did her duty that day, she had no choice. She had a job and sent to do it. I don't think they're talking about the monster fighting. I think they're talking about she was supposed to do that thing with Logan. I wonder if she did something to maybe transfer the curse to Logan from her.
Oh my!
Or like something evil happened there. I'm almost certain of it.
All right, yeah, that would be interesting.
So yeah, this is a good story. They've only got a few pages to keep the story going, but it's definitely in each issue of Marvel Comics Presents, it's been the best thing.
Yeah, it's been good every time.
So I'm going to go ahead and give this a 7.
All right, yeah, 7.
Okay, so the next one was another Captain America one. Andrew Aiden, drawn by Danny Lacuna. And I gotta say, the art, love it. Love Danny Lacuna's Captain America.
Yeah, that's good art.
Draw Steve Good. But the story, man, what a drag.
It's a bummer of a story.
What a drag. It's like, Steve, you can't help with racism in the racist South. Like, you just can't do nothing, you white man.
Yeah.
And at the end, I guess he can. He helps the little kid get on a bus.
Right, but it does seem like he's like, okay, I'll leave.
Right.
I can't do anything about this.
Because the story is definitely being presented as, like, Cap tried to help, but all he ended up doing was, like, he spurred them to do an action that they shouldn't have done, and now their voting place got burned down.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know what it's trying to say.
I don't know. It's like... white man tries to help segregated black people and spurs the vile action of other white people against those black people, and he can't do anything about it, even though he's Captain America and is an idea that lives in the heart of every American, and he could definitely do something about it.
Because I almost got the feeling like this story was wanting us to agree with the man, the husband, and say, like, yeah, she shouldn't have tried to go vote. Like, that dude was right about Cap. Like, is he wrong about that? I
know. I didn't know what it was trying to say either. It just felt weird.
That's a 2. Because I like the Danny Lacuna art a lot. And it's appropriate to the period. Like, it definitely looks like it should look. Like, the coloring's good, the art's good. Like, it looks good.
Old American South.
But damn. Come on. Why does Cap have to feel guilty for this shit?
Yeah. It doesn't really do anything to boost his character. I give it a 1.
Oh, yeah. Well, I hated it. Alright, last up, we have a Spider-Man short by James Monroe Iglehart, drawn by Ray Anthony Height. Neither, as the creator, I'm familiar with from anything. And this was a fun little story about Peter getting sucked into a cursed dream where he has to have a rematch against Crusher Hogan, the wrestler that he wrestled against.
Right, but it's Crusher Hogan's dream, so Crusher Hogan has powers and can wipe the floor with Spider-Man almost.
Yep. And it's just a fun little story. Dr. Voodoo is fighting. Is it Dr. Druid? Is that the one?
Dr. Druid.
It's Dr. Druid is doing this thing with Crusher Hogan, and Brother Voodoo is going to stop him. And while he does, Spider-Man has to fight Crusher Hogan in his dream. And it's just a fun little. It's basically just a wrestling comic, kind of.
Yeah, he's got to hold him off for 3 minutes.
While they talk about whether or not Spider-Man should feel guilty about what happened to Crusher Hogan. And I was really afraid, especially because of just having read that Captain America story, that it was going to be this thing about, like, ooh, Spider-Man, you really ruined this guy's life.
Yeah.
But then at the end, it's, it is more about personal responsibility, as Spider-Man comics should be. Yeah. Crusher Hogan ruined his own life.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he was having troubles even before Spider-Man came in and beat him.
Yeah. And Spider-Man even reminds him, and I guess because Spider-Man's been following his current career, he knows Spider-Man's like, don't you run a gym right now and, have a good girlfriend? Don't be so bitter.
Yeah, exactly.
And, just ends with Spider-Man swinging away from Madison Square Garden, thinking to himself, well, if I beat Crusher Hogan twice and he's World Heavyweight Champion, does that make me a World Heavyweight Champion?
Yeah, better go down to his gym and thank him again for training me.
Right? So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I liked it.
Nice little Spider-Man story. I'd give it a 6. No, I'd give it a 7.
I would also give it a 7.
I liked it. Spider-Man was very much in character.
He definitely was. This is some of the most fun Spider-Man I've read in a while.
Yeah, and we often aren't picking up any Spider-Man related stuff.
Right, so but we've seen him in Venom a few times recently and other stuff, and he hasn't been quite in character, a little bit too much of a dweeb.
Right, yeah, back when we were getting some more Dan Slott Peter Parker, which is not like.
Yeah.
But, yeah, pretty good.
Yeah. So overall, 7? But there's
I give it a 6.
Yeah, 6.
That Captain America, man.
It drags it down. It's true.
Captain America's War at Home. Ugh. No thank you.
Yeah. It wasn't worse than the previous Captain America one, but about on par.
It was about on par.
With the Daredevil motorcycle one.
Marvel Comics presents Captain America is Sad.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. Thanks for checking us out this week, everybody, and we hope to see you again. We'll be back with more reviews of things in the very near future.
Keep it chill.